Man, I'm really glad y'all enjoying the videos. I know they were kind of long, and I'm not even mad at you if there was something that you just could not finish, because we was flowing. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we just spitting from the diamond eye, coming off the emerald tablets. Yeah, definitely. Shoot, the emerald is associated with my birth date. So I gotta come off the emerald tablets, and I gotta be a thought guy like Thoth was. I gotta be. So just chopping it up today, we could talk about male-female relations. We could talk about that. Or relations in general, because I don't want to leave anybody out. So let's say relationships. Right? What do you hear in the word relationship? Well, the one thing you hear is re. There go the prefix to repeat, to do. So something is getting done in the re, in re. So that's relationships. When one side doesn't bring anything to the table in any way, shape, or form, whether it be like not financial, not conversational, not energetic, not understanding, not supportive. If they're not bringing anything to the table, then that is just a relationship. There is no relay. In a relay race, the baton gets passed. You're passing the baton in a relationship. Not literally, but the root word to relay is to pass something. You know, what are you passing? Agreement. You passing common ground, an understanding, what they call getting to know one another. You know, you get to know this person. There's going to be some relay. If it's one-sided in either direction, it won't really be a relationship. There'll only be one relay. You know, who's the person going to pass the baton to if the other person is not contributing, if the other person is not putting their input into the relationship? And likewise, if the person is ready to get the baton, and what if the person don't want to pass it to them? You know, what if the person is all about themselves and they can't stop talking about themselves? They don't even want to hear the other person's story. They don't even care to know. All they care about is that this person is there to listen to them. So they're not passing the baton. They're not even passing it in the relay race. The other person is sitting there with their hand open. They're ready to run this race, right? You know, as a couple, trying to get your team to the finish line. But it ain't gonna happen in the relay race if folks don't pass the baton. If the person with the baton don't want to let it go, he or she is saying, "Nah, I'm gonna run the whole race because I had my heart broken before." And let me see your phone. They don't want to give that baton up. I'm telling you, that baton, the first, they gave that baton up before, and the person ain't give it back. In so many words, that's relationship hurt. And if that stuff goes unresolved, in a lot of instances it does, that stuff will get passed on right to the next relationship. It'll get relayed right on over to the next relationship. So you gotta, it will be best to reconcile all that stuff within you, though. Make peace within you. Now, if the other person was wrong, you don't know whether or not that person gonna get right. But you got the option of whether or not to get right and get right over it. Sometimes, like, who we thinking is Mr. and Ms. Right is only Mr. and Ms. Right now. They probably won't even be the same person later on. They're probably not even the same person on the weekend as they are during the week. Nah, that's kind of cheap, because I think we all let our hair down once the work week is over. So no, I ain't gonna go there like that. But they're more so, they got that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going on. When there's an imbalance and you're carrying baggage from past relationships, there's always that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And really, you don't want none of the characters, because wasn't it Dr. Jekyll who made Mr. Hyde? We like to get scared of Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde is the monster. Nah, Dr. Jekyll ain't Dr. Jekyll the one who made Mr. Hyde? Nah, he's more dangerous. You know, I'd rather deal with the monster than the creator of monsters. I slay a monster, it's just gonna be another monster next week, another monster tomorrow. I take out Godzilla today. On a relationship level, I might meet Mecha Godzilla tomorrow. And the same thing could be for you. This is for anybody who might be in that part of the relationship where there's no relay. There's no relating. You know what I mean? It's night and day. You found out that y'all not kindred spirits. The only thing y'all like together, the only thing y'all liked, the only mutual interest that y'all shared was going to the club and drinking liquor. You know, and smoking smoke. That was it. That was it. In that y'all was physically attracted to each other. But if this is it, you might be passing the baton back and forth, but if there's no no real substance, if y'all not at least good friends, you know, if y'all not at least good friends, it becomes, well, is one side engaging in prostitution? Or is one side trying to hold something over a person's head, trying to bribe them, trying to buy them, whether it be a sugar daddy or a sugar baby or a sugar mama or sugar baby, right? Because a lot of this failure to relay in a lot of traditional hetero relationships, the older ones though, like first and second boomers, like the dynamics of what relationships were in those days, it got turned on its head as time went on, because other elements came into the picture with time and change. This is what happens. So with that relay now, there was instances where the woman was unsatisfied. What they wanted in the man is what they got in them, but they didn't know all of what they were asking for. It was one of those, be careful what you ask for. They were like, I want a man who's rich. I want a man who's working all the time. I want him to be the breadwinner. Well, he can't be both the breadwinner and the homebody at the same time. So what happens when he starts making all of this money that you've been praying to have a man that does? Now you don't see him. You hardly see him anymore. And how do you know what he's thinking about you? He might be looking at his partner like, this person is a freeloader, only here to get this. Well, I'm gonna get mine. You know, this person don't know where I'm at all hours. You know what I mean? They don't know when I come home from work every day. They don't know. I'm gonna stop and go see such and such on the way, or I'm gonna start getting a little more key-ish with the coworkers. And this happens when relationships go cold. Other people can feel that stuff from all the way around the corner. Let you be in the bad part of the relationship. If you don't have that incel energy and you're not creepy, if you're not passing off weirdo vibes, there's almost a relationship waiting on you as soon as you break up. I've seen it. I've been in relationships with women where it was like, dang, how did y'all know about that? We didn't even know we broke up yet. And you already on me? They can feel that stuff. They can feel that gap. Just like they can feel when you're inexperienced in that area. When they can see it on a person now. They know the difference between a person who is a real ladies' man versus a person where every time you see them, they want to brag about some new girl that they got that was mysteriously only in town for the weekend. You know, you ain't gonna never see them. It ain't gonna be nothing verifiable. You got these kind of guys. I used to go to school with a lot of them. That was the culture of the day. Yeah, man, I got this new girl. Where she at? Oh, yeah, man, she from New York. They'll start making up anything. Yeah, she from Texas. You know, she only in town for a half hour though, man. She on a private jet and everything, man. She bad, man. I gotta tell you all about her one day. And they'll throw that on you just for some clout. You know, and they would have the story all worked up. So there was no social media to run yourself empty on. No, it was fresh. Whatever you had to say, that stuff was lingering in you all week, all day. Yeah, you wasn't posting nothing in 1995 unless you was posting up on the block. So this imbalance gave birth to the gigolo on the female side, because they're like, well, this man ain't home no more. I like his money, but man, I got physical needs too. Here come the gigolo. Here come the Richard Gere's. Here come the Nick Cannons. They gonna be there. There's somebody. There's always somebody for somebody. You know what I mean? Always somebody for somebody. That happens, get a gigolo. A gigolo ends up showing up. There's a whole industry. Probably, you know what I mean? Gigolos. And then on the other end, you got the girlfriend experience, a gigolo. I don't even think that's a word, but gigolo. The A at the end is, you know, the female version. So I'm sure there's guys who, you know, are probably in that situation where their woman is the either the breadwinner or whatever the case, and maybe they don't see her no more and they got to get a mistress. And this is if their physical needs and desires are like that, and that's on a case-by-case basis depending on the relationship. And this applies to male-female, male-male, or female-female. I'm leaving it open to everybody, whoever you dealing with. If you're dealing with another person and not a machine, there's some rules and regulations, you know what I mean? Anything beyond that is and probably including that to an extent, is going into depravity. So these things I really can't speak on, but to say like the more depraved it goes, you got to be careful. Those demons, there's entities that mix violence in. When it gets too deprived, that's when they want to start adding pain. Like, yo, this pleasure ain't really hitting it no more. I need some pain to go with this. You know, and next thing you know, you be a Christian, but you be 50 Shades of Grey at the same time.